So let's talk about a journey.
Welcome to the Journey to Peace podcast. And we thought we'd talk about a fun journey that we had together.
Yes.
This is a couple of years ago. We actually went to Panama on vacation. Now, it was a little bit out of the blue. You decided, hey, let's go for a week and let's relax. It was like spring break time. What made you want to go to Panama? And then specifically, we took a journey in the jungle. So, yeah, tell me
Well,
about what attracted you there.
well, I love Panama because Panama has a lot of history with respect to the United States. Of course, we have the Panama Canal that's there. So there's a lot of synergy and a lot of history between the two nations. We also know that there's a lot of Afro-Latino people there. And so it's just a very beautiful place to visit. It's a very quiet place. But the reason I wanted to go to the rainforest is really because of the indigenous people, the Ibera people, the great Ibera tribe there, and
Tell
just
us
what
about them.
they're just a great tribe. It's one of the few tribes that's still in parts of Colombia and parts of Panama, and they essentially try to live off the land and try to live as natural as possible. For example, the cell phone service doesn't work there. I mean, it's very rural and it's very like you're in nature. And there's something to be said about being immersed in nature and how that recharges your battery, rejuvenates you. And we had to go through, hours of the rainforest, and I love the rainforest.
Yeah.
Having been in the rainforest in other countries like Brazil and Costa Rica. So it's just I mean, I'm a nature guy, so
It
I love
was
it.
so fun as we were walking through the rainforest and the trees were all around
It
us.
was.
And it was just that light mist and you breathed better. I mean, it was just something about the atmosphere being surrounded by the rainforest and the sounds of the rainforest and the smells and the feeling of the cool mist on your skin as you were walking through underneath the canopies of trees. It was so beautiful. But it wasn't just the actual walking through. We were actually being led by one of like the group, the
one of
Iberas,
the one of
like
the councilmen,
elders.
one of the
Yeah,
councilmen, yeah.
yeah.
And they were just so gentle with us, and we had to go through some spots that you didn't even think you were going to make it because you're going up, a mountain, down a mountain. You're going through different peaks and valleys
Ravines
and
and yeah,
ravines, and just raw, really, just raw and
yeah,
uncut.
just right. It was not a sophisticated path
No,
at all. But I guess
no,
that's why we it was called a hike through the rainforest.
yeah.
And then the journey was taking us to a beautiful waterfall. And we were with a small group and we got to just, strip down to our bathing suits and just jump right into that cool, refreshing water. I mean, it wasn't hot because it was already cool and refreshing in the rainforest, but it was just something just even more refreshing about just being immersed in the water and the rainfall right there, right?
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And talk about feeling the presence of God. You felt the presence of God, and it was just like no care in the world. You feel almost like, our ancestors, um, you know, Adam and Eve, just being there, just being in nature, just being there with God. It was glorious. It was absolutely glorious.
All right. So besides making you jealous, maybe of this wonderful event, just this journey that we had, what are some of those spiritual principles we can take from that specific journey? Because this podcast, of course, is called Journey to Peace, and life is a journey, right? And hopefully, we have those wonderful moments in the midst of the ups and downs of life, like we had in Panama. But yeah, what are some lessons we can take? I know, like you said several times already, it's not just about the destination. It
No,
really is about the journey. And
it is.
I mean, they had the destination in mind for us, and we were going to go to this waterfall. But boy, the journey was just as fun as the destination.
That's true. That's true. Most of life is spent on the journey.
Yeah.
It's not the destination. And a lot of times people get to the destination and like, is this what it's all about? So it's good to just enjoy the journey. Whatever journey God has you on, try to find some joy. I was just recently reading a little bit of Anne Frank's diary, of course, a young Jewish girl in a concentration camp. And I mean, just horrific time in that concentration camp. But even Anne, just to help her mind go get through the horror, she would try to find something that could get her through that moment. And humans, our minds are like that, right? Our minds are very powerful, and sometimes we can just go through stuff that allow us to look at a perspective of a difficult time that we're going through, to help us get through it, to get through it. And in on the same vein of talking about the Holocaust and trauma, Elie Wiesel, he gives an account. He talks about two people that he found in the concentration camps. There was one group of people that just gave up hope. And I mean, you would imagine just seeing the horrors and the horrific things that happened during the Holocaust. Of course, there was people that gave up hope. But then he said there was another group of people that were planning what they were going to do when they got out of the concentration camp. Mm. Hey, I'm going to go to university. Hey, I'm going to travel to the States. Hey, I'm going to do this. And just the mere fact of the ones that had hope along that horrific thing that's called the Holocaust, the ones that had hope of what they were going to do when they got out, a lot of them were the ones that survived, And so
so important to have that hope.
Yes.
Right. To have something that we're looking forward to. I think of the verse, this one verse that's been ringing in my heart actually the last few weeks. And it's about being joyful in hope and also patient in affliction and faithful in prayer. Romans 12, verse 12. So it says, be joyful in hope. And at first blush, I can think, oh, that first one, that's the easiest out of the three, because one talks about patience in affliction and the other faithful in prayer. This one's joyful in hope. But the truth is, to be joyful in hope, there's still a longing, because if you hope for something, you don't have it right there. There's still an absence of the thing that you're hoping for. And so to be joyful without the substance of what you wish is still something you have to do with intention. You have to really make an effort to be joyful without the actual substance of what you're wishing for.
Yes, and it takes faith, right? Hebrews tells us in Hebrews 11, it says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen, right? So it's the belief of saying, okay, God, I haven't seen it, but I believe you. And what does the Lord say? Blessed are they who believeth and has not seen, right? And so we need to have that element of faith. Okay, I don't see it yet, but I'm still holding on to hope. I'm still holding on to belief. And that's a very, very miraculous thing.
Yeah. And so this is just our encouragement to you to enjoy the journey of life, no matter where you are right now in that journey, to be joyful in hope, to be patient in affliction, and faithful in prayer. Thanks for joining us for this episode of Journey to Peace with Gibson and Bridget.
Take care.
Hey y'all, we are here with some great news for you, especially if you are a viewer to the Journey to Peace podcast. We want this tribe to grow and we want to expand this message. So here's where you can help us. This entire month of August, you have the opportunity to win some great prizes. I'm going to let you know what they are, but here's what you need to do. You need to subscribe to the podcast. You need to like our new Facebook page called Journey to Peace, and you need to share it on your social media, because we want to expand this message of how we can all find peace through Christ. All right, now if you do those three things throughout this month of August, you'll have an opportunity to win signed copies of Gibson's books, Being a Promotable Person and Staying Positive in a Negative World. This book bundle, maybe even some more, may be yours if you do those three things: like our new Journey to Peace podcast Facebook page, also share it on your social media, and of course, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell on our podcast page on YouTube. You have this month of August, also my birthday month, to celebrate with us.